Hey guys, with this one right here, we didn't got Big P Wakanda, got the Wakanda, and he got Proud by Miller. You got the Miller. Shout out to Miller, you know the whole thing, but you got Wakanda, Big P, and just with the Big P coming into it, especially with the whole Wakanda, because Big P, with this whole thing coming into it, his whole established thing, and just with the Wakanda and everything else, and just with this whole thing. And shout out to all the producers and stuff. Just you gotta give them their stance. But you got Big P with the Wakanda. But before we get into this, make sure you guys like, comment, and make sure you guys hit that that sub button, that subscribe button. Cause I be putting all type of little tontos. So make sure you guys definitely, subscribe and all that other stuff. But we got Big P and Wakanda, and just with the whole just others, so motions with Wakanda.
Non ci spaventi né tu nel tuo cioppa. In tasca due notti, poco ci chiede se abbiamo la droga. Non abbiamo la droga, abbiamo contanti per farci un nuovo guardaroba. Prima è broda, oggi la costa mandino proprio quanto costa.
Big Poppa stoppa, non ci spaventi né tu nel tuo cioppa. In tasca due Nokia, Popo ci chiede se abbiamo la droga. Non abbiamo la droga, abbiamo
La droga, abbiamo Big Poppa stoppa. Non ci spaventi né tu nel tuo cioppa. In tasca due Nokia, poco ci chiede se abbiamo la droga. Non abbiamo la droga, abbiamo contanti per farci un nuovo guardaroba. Prima è broda, oggi la costa mandino proprio quanto costa.
Big Poppa stoppa, non ci spaventi né tu nel tuo cioppa.
Oh, and the whole thing, like the way it's just already, pardon me, it's like, hey, is that a little bit of a sand and a little bit of a more of a moisture of a more thing? Like he was putting the whole liquid on it and moistening it up, and getting it all like it looked kind of like sand, and then he like chained it up, like shoot, with the whole chained it up, and the whole thing, like how it just cursed it in, like hey, it flamed up, like even with that coming into it, like was that some type of sand moisture, the whole thing? Because it just over me, like the way it just over me, the way he just took over and he just sanded it and liquidated and lighted it. Like, hey, I don't even, I don't even know what the whole part was right there, but that was some sketchy type of, envy, already coming into the whole cassette.
In tasca due Nokia, Popo ci chiede se abbiamo la droga. Non abbiamo la droga, abbiamo contanti per farci un nuovo guardaroba. Big Dream my broda, oggi la costa one no problem. Quanto costa? Wakanda, BMF, Black Mafia. La mia city sembra Dhaka, la portiamo sulla mappa. Wow, Wakanda, BMF, Black Mafia. La mia city sembra Dhaka, la portiamo sulla mappa. Wow. Porte del blocco bloccate, non sei residente, non ti fanno entrare. Un negro con due montenegri si beve la vita sopra quelle scale. La pazienza l'ha sempre deluso, per questo che è lì sempre pronta a rischiare. Il suo punto di forza è suo padre, perciò punta a fare il doppio di suo padre. Friki flacca, welcome to Wakanda, non abbiamo tempo per
What makes it more, of it's consent too, because the way he's just like going in it, like the way he's playing in it, the way the whole thing is, like he's playing in it, like the way the whole thing is set and everything else, like especially how a lot of these films be set, like these films be set off another atrocious, like where it's set and everything else, like especially where it's set and the whole thing, like where they film these, just they film the whole thing. It's like crazy to see the whole consent, because he's in the fire, and then it's like then you got this other stuff coming into it, so it's like you got all this mix of a whole thing, of a whole complaints, and the main thing, taking that main rich, especially taking the risk of him even, going in there, playing like they say, going in the playgrounds and doing your whole sense of, fire and playing with the whole fire, what comes with that and the whole commit.
La pazienza l'ha sempre deluso, per questo che è lì sempre pronta a rischiare. Il suo punto di forza è suo padre, perciò punta a fare il doppio di suo padre. Freaky flacca, welcome to Wakanda, non abbiamo tempo per le tue cazzate. Su TikTok sono tutti gucciati, dal vivo son lì che son pronti a sbloccare. Questi radar quando siamo in strada ci snitchano sempre potente segnale. Non venire per darci consigli che qua quando vuoi ti possiamo insegnare. Big Papa stoppa, non ci spaventi né tu nel tuo cioppa. In tasca 2 Nokia, Popo ci chiede se abbiamo la droga. Non abbiamo la droga, abbiamo contanti per farci un nuovo guardaroba. Big Dream my broda, oggi la costa one day no problem, quanto costa? Wakanda, BMF, Black Mafia. La mia city sembra Dhaka, la portiamo sulla mappa. Wow, Wakanda, costa, Wakanda, BMF, Black Mafia. La mia city sembra Dhaka, la portiamo sulla mappa.
Ooh, he said with the, it kind of sound like he said with the mafia. He said with the just the whole thing with the whole Scotia mafia, like the whole Scofia's mafia, and kind of just the things and everything else, like especially with how the whole thing how it's like said, and, come status, like the whole thing is just established.
Wakanda, BMF, Black Mafia. La mia city sembra Dakar, la portiamo sulla mappa. Wow.
Coming into this one though, right here, like staying the whole thing, and even this one, with it coming in and the whole thing with Big P and him having this whole thing, this one right here was a crazy tournament, a tournament, him even going in with the whole chain and the whole thing, like the fire pit and everything else, like especially a lot of how these stuff is filmed and stuff like that. It's crazy how it's filmed and everything else, but you just got with this one coming into it right here. I just think this was a mix of a Janice wanted everything else, but most definitely check this one out. Everything else, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and do all that other stuff, and just with that other stuff. But most definitely give this one a whole thing, and just with this whole thing coming around it, and just with this whole one right here.